were killed and maimed by the explosions of the pagers. Have the Israelis acknowledged that they did this? Is there any dispute but that they did? Because the American government has not condemned it. Could you imagine if Russia or China or Iran or South Korea did something like that? We'd be all over them.
No, they don't admit it formally. They don't admit it. They just say it's attributed. So they sort of smirk and say it's attributed, but who knows? So they don't say anything. And the position of the United States is still basically just to say, well, we support the right of self-defense in Israel, as if this is self-defense. This was not self-defense at all. And it was really horrific. I mean, many people lost their eyesight. And these are, as I say, ordinary. Many, children were killed in it with them too, having their parents' pagers and so on.
How do you
think, was a really sad time.
How do you think Bill Burns, the head of the CIA and the chief American negotiator seeking a ceasefire in Gaza, feels now that he must recognize that the Israeli government was never, ever, ever serious about a ceasefire, and all of his efforts were a facade?
I think, I do think there was an element that they really believed that this was possible, even though they never engaged in that negotiation either very seriously. I think there was this, magical thinking that, that they could just put pressure on Hamas through the Egyptians and through the Qataris, and that he would fold. Much as they had this, if you like, magical thinking that the authorities in Lebanon and the Lebanese army would put pressure on Hezbollah, because they never dealt with Hezbollah directly, that they would put pressure on Hezbollah and force it to withdraw. I mean, they have no understanding of Lebanon, none at all. If they thought that, who is going to do this in Lebanon? The army certainly would have done this, because many of them are Shi'i also. It would have never have happened. There isn't the authority, there isn't the power to do anything in Lebanon. It is a bankrupt, broken country. It hasn't even got a government. It's quite incapable. But that doesn't seem to have entered in the calculations. They just went on in a sort of, pro forma way that they've perhaps been operating for years and years, thinking, that the Egyptians would put pressure on Hamas. I've been through that. I've seen that. It doesn't work. And certainly Lebanon just doesn't have any of the mechanism to put pressure on Hezbollah at all.
Alastair, thank you, my dear friend.